Turn the sound off. Okay, there we go. So don't pay attention to that. I have to video this so my teacher can watch me teach you. Okay? So y'all don't have to worry about it. We're not going to pay attention to it. But everybody can come take a seat on the carpet. Wherever you normally sit. Whenever. You normally sit right there, don't you? Okay, if I'm in your way, tell me. Okay. So we're going to have a little discussion and read a little story. We're going to talk about point of view. But just remember to raise your hand so everybody can talk. No, you're fine.
You Brian? It's up to you. Ryan, she can go.
Okay, that's fine.
Ryan.
Okay. Y'all ready? Okay, so how many of y'all have heard of the story of the three little pigs? You all have. Awesome. Okay, so tell me about it. Who wants to tell me what happened in the story? Haley, you can tell me.
The wolf keeps blowing on houses.
Right. Keeps going on. Lamar, what did you say?
The wolf couldn't blow the brick house down.
That's very true.
And
He just tried to eat the food. Yes, he did.
but he never got to eat them because they got them running and out the house and found out that
Yes.
and like in other stories, the wolf didn't get to eat the pigs because the pigs ate the wolf.
Oh yeah, they're different versions. They're totally different versions. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Is that we have a different version here.
That's the one I was talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
And the wolf tells that story. Okay, so let's try to remember things from the original Three Little Pigs. Is that he's a big bad wolf, right? I think it's fine. The green light's still on, so we're good. Thank you. So he's a big bad wolf, right? The pigs think he's awful, and it kind of makes you feel sorry for the pigs, right? Because their houses get blown down. He's really mean to them, right? So that's told from the pig's point of view. Do y'all know what a point of view is? Anybody tell me? Just take a guess. Yeah.
Their position?
Yeah, their position in the story. Like, if it's told from my point of view, then I'm the one that's telling the story. So it's who is telling the story. And I'll write that on the board.
Oh, I thought
So you can
that
think.
it was like your opinion.
It is kind of like your opinion because then it's because it's my idea. If I'm telling a story, then it's what I think happened. So if both of us saw something happen on the playground or something, you would probably have a different story than I had because we're telling it from different perspectives, different point of views. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. And there are different types of point of view. Telling the story. Okay. So, do you think that, well, I just said it kind of would be a different story if two different people are telling the same story, right? Do you think the meaning would be a little bit different?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, but it
You
would
know,
all come up at the same time.
you think it would be the same? Maybe the details are a little different. If maybe we're watching a baseball game and I really like to watch the batter, but you really like to watch the people out in the outfield, right? So the details might be a little different. I might notice that someone hit a home run. You might notice that they caught the ball. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Details would be a little bit different. Yeah.
I think it's going to be the other way around when the pigs try to blow the house down now.
You think? That's what you think's gonna happen?
read that one where it was the three little wolves and the pig was trying to blow the house.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, this is a different story, and it's told from the wolf's perspective. So it's his point of view. So what do y'all think he has to say? Do you think he's going to say, do you think he's going to admit to blowing down all their houses, or no? What do you think?
He's going to sneak up on them. Oh!
You think? What do you think?
I think it's like...
Yeah, maybe he sneezes. What do you think?
Or, he might lie to the pig, say that he won't blow the house.
That's true. Yeah, what do you think?
Maybe he sneezes and
You're right. Maybe he's innocent, and maybe the pigs were mean to him or something.
Yeah,
What do you
he might like dress up as something.
Disguise himself. That's a good idea. What do you
He
think?
might admit being eaten or something.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, let's find out. Are you ready? Okay, so this is called The True Story of the Three Little Pigs by A. Wolf. Okay. Can you see? Okay. Everybody knows the story of the Three Little Pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too.
Oh, I see my ears.
Okay, but like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. What do you think it's going to be? Think it's going to be about sneezing? Okay, way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold, and I ran out of sugar. Sneeze, not sugar. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house of straw? See a straw house? So of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house, so I called, little pig, are you in?" No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed, and I snuffed, and I sneezed a great sneeze.
Why didn't he bully you?
You're right, he could have turned his head or something. And you know what? That whole darn straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw, so I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar, so I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house of sticks. I rang the bell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in?" He yelled back, "Go away, Wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin." I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed, and I snuffed, and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was a second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. Yes, Lauren.
What does dead as in
It's like an expression. He's dead as a doornail. The doornail's not alive, right? It's just an object. Dead as a doornail. Okay, now you know food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better, and I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family. He had built his house of bricks. I knocked on the brick house. No answer. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in?" And do you know what that rude little porker answered? "Get out of here, Wolf. Don't bother me again." Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar, and he wouldn't give me even one little cup for my dear sweet old granny's birthday cake. What a pig! I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed, and I snuffed, and I sneezed once again. Then The third little pig yelled, and your old granny can sit on a pin. It's not very nice.
Hey.
Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course, I was trying to break down this pig's door, and the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. The rest, as they say, is history. The news reporters found out about the 2 pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the story with all of that huff and puff and blow your house down, and they made me the big bad wolf. That's it. The real story. I was framed. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar. So what do y'all think of that story? Do y'all think do you think that he's a good guy?
No.
No. Is anybody convinced? Maybe a little bit? Okay. We're going to talk a little bit about how we think this story. Do you think the story is different than the original story? It is. Okay.
But he blows it down. He doesn't sneeze it down.
Right. Well, we're going to make a little chart about the original story. Y'all can help me. Come up here and write.
And none of the pigs die.
In the original story, you mean?
Yeah, that's the good part. Nobody dies.
Yeah, that's not very good, is it?
Yeah, he doesn't eat the pigs. He tries to, but he doesn't. Yeah. This story.
Okay. So, let's try to think of some details that are different from the wolf story and the original story.
The pigs did. The wolf didn't eat the 2 pigs. The 2 pigs and
In the original story, okay, you can write that on the board. Originally, you can just write, didn't eat, maybe. What do you think? He didn't sneeze in the original story. You're right. You can write that after.
Or the original.
Yeah. But that's in the original. Yeah, you're right. That's good. There's another marker too. You can write that on the wolf's part. Right? He made a cake. What do you think? He had a cold. You're right in the wolf story. That's good. What do you think? That's fine. What do you think? It didn't start about the sugar. That's very true. So y'all think, what do you think about that? Do you think he's telling the truth? No, you still think he was just trying to eat the pigs? You think maybe he was, yeah.
How he was saying it and stuff. It was just. The pig was being.
That's good. Yeah.
The pig wasn't mean in the original.
He wasn't mean.
Oh, listen.
Yes, Mom.
I bet you in the original one, he ran away at the end.
Oh, he did? Oh, yeah, you're right. Because he goes down the chimney and then.
Oh, yeah.
What did you say?
Does he want to disguise himself as Santa?
Yeah, you can put that on there. Well, you can put under the wolves that it does start with the sugar. You don't have to. That's fine. We're just going to write a couple of things and then we can keep thinking. Let's think about this one. What do you have?
That all the little pigs, they ran to the house made out of bricks and they didn't say no.
That's true. Let's try to think of some details from the wolf story that we just read. Yeah, he didn't go to jail in the original story, but he went to jail. What do you think? Yeah, that's a good one. You can write had a cold under wolves.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, you can write that. That's fine.
On the first picture, I didn't have a picture.
Right here. I just think that he looks like a nice guy, not doesn't he? With the glasses, he looks like he's a believable guy. Maybe he's not a big. That's true. You can just write grandma. Okay, well we can go ahead and sit down because then we can all think about this one. We don't have to write anything else on the code. Which one?
At the end, he goes to jail.
Yeah, that's it.
That's like the
What?
second one. And then the little one.
In the regular one, it wasn't. One not. You're right. Okay. So, do y'all see that the point of view has changed a little bit? Because in the first one, it's from the pig's point of view, and so they think he's mean, he didn't sneeze, and that one he was trying to blow down their house, right?
Yeah, he was actually trying to blow down the brick.
Right. You think in the original story? Right. But in the wolf story, we see that the point of view change is that the wolf's telling us that he's a really good guy. Yeah, Lamar.
In the original one,
Mm-hmm.
the cops didn't show up.
That's true. That's very true. What do you think?
Well, in the book, if the police actually came and talked to him, if the pigs weren't there, if they were there, like in the house, it really wouldn't be true. He really would be a good person.
A good guy.
Was
Right.
the police, was the police, like, people, or just a wolf,
I think it was like
I don't. It didn't show pictures of the
yeah,
police,
it was
did
like
it?
it was like a pig, like it was pigs and.
Oh, it does look like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, pigs look on the second.
Pigs were the reporters. This picture.
It looks like he was a bad guy because it looks like it's a pig. It seems like everything. We all know it's a pig because of that smell.
Because that's now. Yeah, it does look like it. Which one?
And what does the house have?
Oh yeah, that. Good job. Great observation. Did y'all see that? It looks like the pigs run the town. There's a pig right there who's like a police officer. That's interesting, isn't it?
Why do you have a pig in
Huh.
his house?
I don't know.
It seems
Yeah.
like he's the only good.
You're right.
Why did he show up if he was just standing in the middle?
Why did the wolf
Okay.
say police pig?
Okay, we can write all these questions down. Thank you.
It seems like that he's the only person that is not a pig.
Yeah, I know. Maybe that's why they think he's a big bad wolf, because everybody else is pigs. Okay, so really think about, I'm going to leave this up on the board, and we're really going to think about how these stories are different, and everyone's going to go back to their desk in a second, I'll tell you when, and we're going to write a little bit about whether or not you're convinced by the wolf story. If you think he's a good guy, or you think he's not a good guy, I'll write on the board some prompts that you can start your writing with. Just write a couple sentences and make sure to use some details from the different stories to back up whether or not you think he's a good guy. Does that make sense?
Can we
Do
read
you want
it
any
out to
questions?
the class?
We can afterwards. Yeah. Okay. So if table 1 wants to go ahead and go to their table, they can.
We get this graded. We put it in the right direction.
But you should still work really hard on it, right? Right? Okay.
If you're gonna read it out to the one, this kind of
So you can write about either story. Thank you. Okay, table 2 can go ahead and go to their table.
We have to write everything back there.
Yeah, and why you think he's a bad guy or he's a good guy.
What should we use?
You can use either piece of paper. If you messed up, I gave you 2 pieces. Table 3 can go ahead and
I
go.
always listen.
Yes, that's fine. And she brought up a good point. If you want to use the race strategy, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, if you don't use the other paper.
Right, and if you don't use the other paper, you can put some notes on it. Yeah. Table 4 can go ahead into the table if y'all want.
You didn't say table 5 yet.
That's fine, you can go ahead. Maybe. You can write that if you want.
Are you ready?
Okay. I'm going to write down some. Sure, that's fine. Okay, if y'all have some trouble starting writing a sentence, here's some. If y'all have any questions, you can ask. Okay, do you erase this one? Erase one. You know, read that? I still believe the wolf is a bad guy because if you need help starting a sentence, if you think he's a bad guy. But if you think he's a good character now, you can say, I believe the wolf is a good character because. And then you can list some details about why you think he's a good character. Okay? No, there's no right or wrong answer. It's just what you think.
Do I have to put our names on that?
Sure. These details right here might help you too. You can. Yes. Sure. No, it's okay if you didn't already. But if you haven't started, then that would be great. Start with paragraph. Good job. You need a Sharpie? That's fine. No, that's just, you finish the sentence. What are you looking for? And then big opinion. But, do you have a question? Just wanna look at it. Look at it with him. Good. Any questions or no?
Whoever was David Bobby shot.
Yeah, that's a good connection. That's good.
He found his grandma. What? Where? His grandma is not in. Yes, it is.
There's
A
a picture
picture.
of her on one of the pages.
Right here. That's his grandma.
Yeah, you're right, it is.
That is grandma. She looks like she's 20. Mom, let me see. It does. That's what it's supposed to be like. Little Red Riding Hood.
Maybe, yeah.
Or the book we read about when the wolf fell out the tree and he died.
The what? Long Popo?
Remember?
Long
Yeah,
Popo?
not Long Popo.
Not that one.
That was Long Popo.
No,
He's not.
Where they lifted him in the tree?
yeah.
Yeah, that's Long Popo.
Oh,
That's a version
oh
of the
yeah,
Three
that's the
Little
one.
Pigs.
Yeah.
And then-
Oh, really?
No, but it's Little Red Riding Hood. Little
But
Red
it's
Riding
like
Hood.
food.
Oh, you're right. It's more like Little Red Riding Hood. It's like a Chinese
Version.
version of Little Red Riding
The
Hood.
green is
It has
carrying
it
a
has a
honey
wolf
tree.
in it,
I've
yeah.
been in. What's that bird? You want to say it again.
How's everybody doing? If you're finished, you
I
can,
need the book.
no rush, you can keep. But if you're finished, you can read. Starts with P, right? P, U. Good job. You can look at me. What do you have a question about?
Look, that pig.
Yeah. Because then that would mean whether or not the wolf was mean, you think? Well, if you think the pig's mean, you could write that.
But he
Your
didn't mean
opinion on the story.
You still going to that?
Is that anything? Harry? Are you gonna leave it for the class? Okay, good.
It is nothing but 15.
That's great. You definitely can. Good job.
What time is that?
We can.
Some tape. That book, the first page is real. I really want to read it. It's not. I'm sorry.
It matters that many.
This game is
see one.
Yeah.
What time do they go to? Oh, okay.
What?
Yeah, we're not going to the computer lab this morning.
Okay.
You mean
iPad lab.
No, yeah.
We're going to PE.
Let's go.
Don't.
That's good. You can get up. Okay. That's good. Good details. Get time to watch it.
Yes, we do. We went yesterday. Ask her. She said we went for 7th grade.
Are you a good start?
We're not going
What are you, what's going on?
this way.
Are you done with this book? Yes. Yes, that's fine. What's wrong? Need help? What? Good job. That's fine.
It's going to touch your family.
It's whatever you think about.
And she just gave me to you in case you messed up on one or in case you wanted to ask her.
That's good. That's a question you could ask. It's a good question to think about. Justify why you think he's good. Show both sides of it. Okay. That's good. Great description.
And he didn't try to blow. He didn't No, he did.
Good job. Write that down. What you think? Good job.
That's what I
He's
said.
a parent.
I said
Are you done with
I mean, he
your
was eating because he doesn't want to waste it. He had dinner, so.
Who's still working? That's okay if you are. You are? Okay.
There you go.
Doesn't matter however many you think. Oh, wow. Maybe she's my cousin or something. Who knows? The music. Oh. Granny. The true story of the three little pigs.
For what?
Yes, you can definitely draw a picture. Hayden made a good point. If y'all want to draw a picture to go with your writing, you can.
That's a good idea.
What is that? No! You eat your grandma.
Oh, yeah, too.
I don't want you to eat your grandma.
Oh my goodness. If it was me, maybe. Oh, you found it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, boys and girls, keep in mind, this is an AR test book. So, and she read it to you, but that, you can still take a test on it. As long as you're on topic, you're not writing it. You're justifying the way you feel, your opinion.
Yeah, but it's not worth it. Oh, it's just.
You don't have to if you don't want to. You can keep writing whatever you like. You are? Okay. How's it going, Minnie? Good.
I'm writing too much.
No, that's fine. I mean, you can stop whenever you want, but if you have a lot to say, then you have a lot to say.
Look at Is that what you need?
Just extra stuff.
Oh,
It's good right now, I think. According to the text, good job.
He did go to the other girl's house.
Good job. That's good. Yeah, pick first. Go for it.
What is Waylon?
Yeah. I think it's just the name. You didn't? Okay. Draw a picture of the wolf. Show me what it looks like. Match yours. Do you think he's a good guy or a bad guy? Draw him like a good guy. Let me see what that looks like.
What is it? Can I see it? Can I see it? Why is it this one? I don't know. What is it? Let me see. Just see the bag.
That's a good one.
This one.
Yeah.
Yes, you never set them up.
It's right here? Yes. Good job. That's awesome. Yeah. Show me.
Good job. Put it up on, put it on the chart.
I'm gonna trick.
Chase the big Bible. Can you help find it, or can you find the AR test?
How many fingers do they have? Yeah. 3. The wolf.
Good job.
That's good.
That's good. Oh my gosh.
Let me see the book.
You're gonna go, come on, you can draw it, 'cause we're gonna say your name. Why does it look like that? You are silly.
That's only got laugh.
Good job.
You're like, you said
You got it. That's awesome. Okay, you can just read something right now. That's good. Where are you finding these? Oh, that's cool. That's cool. You're still working on it. Y'all still working over here? Okay, that's fine. We're gonna share in a little bit. That's fine, you can finish it later too. That is fine.
Lamar, did you finish?
Are you done with your AR test? Who else is taking an AR test right now? That's fine.
You don't have, yeah, you can take those later.
Yeah.
You can take the AR test of it later. All day long, when you can have free time. Okay, go ahead and wrap up what you're doing. We're gonna share in a little bit if you want to. You don't have to if you don't want to. How's it doing? You can erase the top one. Good job. Okay. Read it, you can.
No, I'm almost done with this piece of cake. Wait, no,
Not all of it.
Stop, Lamar! You were on camera.
Good job. That's awesome.
What's your favorite?
That's a great job. You guys Miss King. Good job. We're about to share. Okay. You are awesome. Okay, is everyone finished or close to finish? You can still work on it later. But go ahead and put up your iPads and your books. You can come sit on the carpet. Bring your writing if you want to share. You don't have to share if you don't want to. But go ahead and put up your iPads and your books and sit on the carpet. Everybody can sit first. Good job. You don't have to if you don't want to. Haley, you can do that afterwards. Go ahead and sit. You ready? You can finish your drawings a little bit. Okay. First, does anyone remember what a point of view is? What is it? Alright, good job. Who's telling the story? Okay, we're gonna remember that, right? Who is telling the story? And does that sometimes change the meaning of the story? Like in these two cases. When the pig tells the story, it's way different than when the wolf tells the story. You're right. The narrator, maybe. Okay. So, Lamar, you wanted to go first. You can read why you think the pig or the wolf is a good guy or a bad guy. You can stand up. Everyone listen.
I still believe the wolf is a bad guy because he made the pig dead as a myth. And I think he is a bad wolf because he ate the queen of the pigs and he was trying to break the last pig's house down on purpose.
Good job. Okay, Clap. Does anyone want to share that wrote about the pig being a good guy? You share.
I believe the wolf is a good guy because he had a cake for his grandma. That's nice. Also, he wasn't trying to blow the house down. Also, he wasn't being mean when he was trying to get some sugar.
Good job. Did you write about him being a bad guy? Okay, Santa. We'll go back and forth. The bad guy and the good guy.
I still believe the wolf is a bad guy because he eats the pigs and he went crazy. Then he blows the houses down and he breaks the straw houses door. And he goes to jail. He wants to eat the last pig. I think he's still a bad guy.
Here's a picture. Good job. You write about him being a good guy? It's okay. You can choose one. Did anyone write about him being a good guy? I want to read. Anyone? Okay, you can read. Okay, next.
I wonder if I should do my own thing.
You don't have to. You can just write at the beginning. You can read it. And that's fine. You don't have to. I'll read it. Okay. I believe the wolf was a good character because he was going to make a cake for his grandma. According to the text, it says he was going to the pig's house just to get a cup of sugar, but then it turned into a big disaster. But the wolf didn't mean to sneeze and blow the pig's houses down. And there's more, but that's good. Did anyone write about him being a bad guy? Everyone's have a chance.
I still believe the wolf is a bad guy because he blew the pigs down and now they're going to the wolf. I can't hear.
No, that's good. Good job.
The wolf was good at that time. He was being kind because he was making a good wolf.
Good job. Like to read?
Happy birthday.
Go for it.
Alexis birthday. I still believe that the wolf is a good guy because why did the police come when he was just standing there? I think the pigs are mean because the wolf said please, the pig said no. The picture of the wolf.
Being a good guy.
I want to
Okay, you can share.
I think the wolf is a bad wolf because he blew the first pig's house down. So that pig went to his brother's house and the bad wolf blew his house down too. So the two brothers ran to their other brother's house and the wolf came. So the wolf huffed and puffed, but because the house was made of bricks, he couldn't build the house. Now the three little pigs are safe. Like,
Good job.
this is
Now with the original story.
oh wait, but the two are bad again. What's that one bad?
That was the pig. Yeah, she thinks the pig's a bad guy. Or the wolf's a bad guy. Do you want to read? You don't have to if you don't want to. Do you? You do? Okay.
I believe the wolf is a good guy because he just asked the pig if he could have some sugar for his cake, but the pig would not give him sugar for his cake.
Okay. Good job. You want to read? Everyone wants to read. I'm surprised. You can read. You want to?
I still believe the wolf is a bad guy because he killed the pigs and ate the two pigs. And the wolf kept sneezing except the last one. The pig said, "Your old granny can sit on a pin." And the wolf got mad and he went to jail.
Good job. Okay, can everyone see that everyone has a different opinion? You see the story from a different point of view, right? Did y'all like this story? Did you? Yeah, you did put a
There's
button.
always like audience. Let me see. This
Yes.
way, can I read?
Yes, you can.
I think the wolf is a bad guy because he ate the pigs. Also, he didn't have a. Oh wait, did he? When the original one, he didn't have.
That's fine.
He did. He in my point of view, I think that he was just
Good job.
a
Clap for classmates.
nice
You can read if you like to.
I still believe he was a bad guy because he went to jail and he killed and ate the pigs. In this story, he becomes the big bad wolf. According to the text, he freaked out because the wolf was talking bad about, because the pigs were talking bad about his old grandma. Now this proves that he's still a bad wolf.
Good job. You did a race ready. Good job.
I used to like that. I did too.
Good.
Would you like to share?
Good practice.
I didn't learn that after. Yes, I still believe that the wolf is a bad guy because he was not, if he was not a bad guy, he would have not ate the pigs, plus he lied to them, he did not tell them he was going to eat them.
True. Good point. Would you like to read? You can.
I believe the wolf is
No,
a
make sure to
good
listen.
guy because the wolf needed a cup of sugar. The wolf needed a cup of sugar for his grandma to make a cake, so he went to the pig's house to get a cup of sugar for the cake, and he is a bad guy because he ate 2 pigs. Then the third pig said, "Your old grandma can sit on a pin," so he got mad at the pig. Tupac tried to break down the door to get in the house.
Good job.
I
Thanks, Jeremy.
think the wolf is a bad guy because he sneezes and he sneezes purposely. You don't sneeze on his house. That's what he did, and he's not hungry. He just wants to eat pigs because that's what he is. He usually eats a pig. I would never eat a pig unless it was not a live.
Marie wasn't here when you read the story, but she read this before, so she remembered all that.
Sounds good. Does anybody else want to share? You don't have to. If not. Okay. If you want to. Are you going to read it aloud? Okay, that's No, you can start right here. And I think,
And I think so. He didn't get in trouble for accidentally blowing the house down and killing the pig. He ate the pig. Wait, I need to start over because that doesn't
go
sound.
for it.
I believe the wolf was a good character because he was going to make a cake for his grandma. According to the text, it says he was going to the pig's house just to get a cup of sugar. But then it turned into a big disaster. But the wolf didn't mean to sneeze and blow the pig's house down. And I think so. He didn't get in trouble for accidentally blowing the house down and killing the pig. He ate the pig. And so he went to the other pig's house and he asked for some sugar. But that pig said no, and so he went almost out the door and then he sneezed and blew the house down. But then he didn't want to let it spoil, so he ate the pig. And then he went to the last house and that pig was mean. So he was definitely going to say no to the wolf. And he didn't let the wolf. And he did let the wolf sneeze one more time and it didn't blow the house down. So I think he is a good guy.
Good job. Smart.
At the wolf's house, he had a bunny. No. He had ham at his house and his pigs ham.
Yes.
And they
And bacon.
baking.
Okay, well, good job writing. That was awesome. Do y'all have any other questions about the story or anything else? Yes,
Are we
I'm
doing
sure you do.
Are we doing anything else with this story? I
Watch.
want to do another story. Like, are we doing another paper or anything?
No, not right now.
I want to do another one.
Yes.
Are you still teaching?
Right now? Right this second I am. And then we'll be done in a second. Yes. Three Little Pigs. There are a lot of different books from different point of views and different perspectives. I found some online yesterday. There are a lot of different ones. Okay. Well, that's all I have. Yeah. Awesome. Thank
That
you.
was awesome.
Good job.
Yes.
Do any more sports? Good job.
Okay, before you get up and stop listening, listen. Those are really good papers. I like this. I like what you were writing. If you have not taken the AR test on
Oh, yeah.
the tree